All right. Thanks for joining us this morning, John. Tell us, please introduce yourself and tell us what you're running for.
Yeah, thanks, Crash. I'm John Cerqueira. I'm running for Raleigh City Council for District E.
Okay, which is where?
Yeah, so that basically goes up Glenwood from Wade Avenue up to Briar Creek and bubbles around. It includes right behind the Art Museum, NCMA, Laurel Hills. It includes Brookhaven near Crabtree, and then up Lynn Road towards Leesville High School, just outside of 540, and then curves around Briar Creek almost to the airport. So Raleigh city limits, that's the district.
All right, good deal.
Yeah,
So,
brother.
first, five simple questions for you. The first one is, why are you running for office?
Yeah, I'm running for office because I've been in Raleigh for a long time. I went to state starting in 1997. I've seen the city change a lot, some for good, some for not that good. And I see some opportunity for us to invest in, a thriving downtown, in managing our growth in a way that supports housing by meeting the increased demand, which is driving our prices up with sufficient supply, but doing it in the right ways that maintains our neighborhoods and keeps this area livable. I also see needs for increased public safety. So we have 100 vacancies on the police force right now, and that's based on a staffing model that's almost a decade old, since well before our population has really boomed, particularly during COVID. And so we need to have places for people to live. We need to ensure that we have our public safety addressed. And the next is parks and greenways. I'm really excited about Dix Park. Really excited about the work that I've been able to do with the Parks Department, helping to co-found Skate Raleigh, the nonprofit that brought the skate park to Capitol Boulevard in between Five Points and downtown.
Okay, great. Uh,
Yeah.
so, how do you plan to engage with your constituents once your term begins?
Yeah, I love that. Actually, I intend to engage with my constituents before the term begins. If I win on November 5th, I want to get to work on connecting with constituents. First thing I'd love to do is have a housing summit. As we've grown, there have been people who have been really uncomfortable with the growth and the changes to the built environment. But the reality is we need to meet our demand for housing with sufficient supply, and we need to do it quick. So we don't really have a choice on how quickly we grow, but we do have a choice on the shape our growth takes. And so I'd like to engage with key neighborhood groups, neighborhoods that are concerned about development moving too far into their neighborhood, neighborhoods where there is concern around gentrification, and get these people to the table along with the builders and developers that have for too long of a time been at odds, and say, hey, we have a problem. We have 50 people a day moving to Wake County, and we have a shortage of housing. We know we need housing, but we know that there are challenges when we grow too quickly and too haphazardly. And I think all people should be at the table. That includes the Raleigh Chamber of Commerce, Downtown Raleigh Alliance, so that we have a mind's eye on our economic development as well. And so I want to start right away and working with the broad base of support that I have, from the neighborhood groups to the development community, to get us all at the table together on the same side of the table so we can solve this problem as neighbors.
Great. All right. Um, why are you the best candidate for this role?
Yeah, so I'll start with I've just been here for such a long time. I grew up in Durham, North Carolina in the 80s, went to state in the 90s, ended up going to business school at UNC with coursework specifically in urban planning, which is the study of how cities grow responsibly. And so I have the education and the framework to help make decisions that are aligned with sustainable growth practices. I also am in my day job a corporate consultant that works in change management. What that is any organization that's going through change, reorganizations, restructures. There's a lot of fear that drives protective patterns, which means people are either lashing at each other or they're recoiling and not working well. And so in my corporate life, I help organizations to find the best, most sustainable path forward. And I intend to apply that experience to city council, because our city is really a big change management exercise. We're changing a lot. It makes people uncomfortable, and I think that experience can be particularly important. Going back to the skate park, a lot of people consider their role in council to be stopping growth, stopping good ideas, including expanding the convention center and keeping Red Hat downtown by moving it a block south. Whereas I've been generative. The skate park was an effort where in 18 months, we had an idea that ended up with the first person skating off a ramp on city land at a $0 lease where we raised private money and created an amenity. And so between my formal education and my experience having lived here for a long time, my professional experience helping people solve complex problems to move forward, and this recent experience working with the famously bureaucratic arena of city government, we were able to do something that was good for the community. And so I think all those things make me uniquely positioned to serve our city.
Great. What one item would be your first priority if you're elected into office?
Yeah, it's actually, if you're okay, I'd like to take two. I want to address this housing challenge we have because it will require some changes to our built environment. And so getting all those stakeholders to the table so that we can meet the demand for both market rate housing, meaning housing that is priced as much as anybody can afford it, and also putting a mind's eye to affordable income restricted housing for people that are struggling or at below our area median income. The next is as we look at our public safety environment, we have 100 vacancies on the police force. Big reason for that is we're not paying our police officers enough, and so they get trained in Raleigh, and then they go to neighboring municipalities where they can get paid more. And these are areas that are less complex to police. And so I'd really love to find a way to find places in our budget or ways we can find some additional funding for our police officers so we can attract and retain that talent.
Great, both much needed.
Yeah.
So what change, addition, or amenity in downtown Raleigh would you think would help add to, retail traffic and more people walking around and the kind of bring some of the vibrancy back to downtown Raleigh?
Yeah, I mean, I'll go back to housing. We have a downtown where there are more people living there full time, but we can use more. And so the more people you have living there, the more people you have invested in the area, the more residents will be there that have an impact on positive foot traffic in the downtown, and that can support our downtown businesses and really become kind of a 24/7 area of town versus what we've had historically in the past is either a place where people go to work and then leave or just go to get drunk and leave. And so, there's this middle space that you've heard in the now kind of cliched adage of live, work, play. We're missing that live element. And so I think more residential units downtown where people are living there and can really create a greater sense of community would be helpful.
All right, great. Well, that's all five questions. I appreciate you taking the time to join us today and tell us a little bit about your campaign. And we wish you the best of luck, and we will see you downtown.
Thank you, brother.